Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is Friday the 13th of July,
I still
2018.
have the most creepy thing for you today.
Okay, here is my question for you though, because we have two huge things to bring you. Most of today's show, and I have no idea, I'm just speaking for Leah, is going to be Peter Strzok and Trump's visit to the UK. That's pretty much it, because there's a lot on both of these things that we have to bring you. My question to you is Strzok what you want to go with, because you're just so hot to trot with it?
I feel like sometimes you lead in with things and get people's attention.
You guys are going to want to see this. If you haven't yet seen the demon possession coming out of Peter Strzok during his Senate hearing testimony, this is going to blow your mind. Leah had to play this video for me like 5 times, and I kept telling her, that's not real. That cannot be real. It's totally real. So
you're going to get... See, here's the thing. If you did not watch any of the Strzok House interview, this is not going to make sense, but that's okay. A lot of you did. A lot of you are keeping up with the news, and you saw how defiant he was, how he lied through his teeth. Peter Strzok, if you will remember, he was the one who changed the wording so that Hillary Clinton was not indicted. Okay?
Right. He is the reason she is not in jail right now.
Somehow he got himself on every single major investigation for both Hillary and Trump. And the reason he was before the House yesterday was his text messages with his lover. Now, Michelle and I had the conversation. He doesn't have a lover. He has an asset.
Yes.
He worked his asset. Okay? His asset was Lisa Page. He is not a lawyer. He needed a lawyer within the FBI to do his dirty work.
Right.
She was the hands. He was the mouth.
Right.
He got her. He manipulated her. He used her. They're both having an affair. So you have this man testifying before Congress who could put any FBI agent under the bus because of his ability to lie and deceive and to get assets.
Not only that, but I do think you should give a little bit more of a backstory about what we were talking about yesterday when it comes to Lisa Page, to put her in a better light. Yes, she was a lawyer, and we all think of lawyers as being hard hitters and all this, that, and the other. But I have to tell you, as a first wave feminist, I can say this. Women are stupid, they are gullible, and they're easily led astray. And
She's
Peter
not very
Strzok
attractive.
played her like a fine-tuned instrument. So when she says, what are we going to, like a woman, what are we going to do if Trump gets elected? And then he comes and says, well, we, meaning you and I, are not going to let that happen. So tell the people what you were saying.
Lawyer.
Thank you.
She was the lawyer who decided how they were going to interview Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Who
was going to be in the room, who wasn't going to be in the room. And so
it was her. One of their text messages says, I'd like to believe that the path that you guys put out in Andy's office isn't going to happen or whatever. I can't remember exactly, but basically they were conspiring in all these different investigations. Yeah. He was the one who got the dossier from Nellie or Peter or the other the Asian guy, her husband. I always get them mixed up. I'm sorry. Who
they forgive you.
I know. There's so many names to remember.
I know.
Nellie Orr worked for Fusion GPS. They got the dirty information.
Right.
They passed it straight through to Peter Strzok. And that's how we got this Russian investigation. They sidelined. He was one on the Wiener laptop investigation. So he's
how
the guy
is it that he has his sticky little
these
fingers in every single major investigation going on?
Why is his buddy... Is she some sort of partner? Have they been partnered up with the FBI? Or why are they on every single thing together?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
And why are they constantly talking about the election in these text messages? Why are they constantly talking about Hillary Clinton?
There are no other investigations. There's nothing else important in the FBI for you guys to be discussing in your text messages whatsoever.
But here's the thing. Even if they were talking about other things, the point is that what I see happening is he's brainwashing her.
Absolutely.
I'm in Virginia. I smell the Trump support. Hillary's going to win 100 million to nothing.
Yeah.
He is brainwashing her.
He's stroking her and he's fine-tuning her.
He can't, so that they can't pinpoint him for the decisions that she's making.
Right.
He doesn't tell her to make the decisions.
She just does it.
Them.
Absolutely. So,
okay.
You're going to play the mic drop right here at the beginning.
Right.
And so I want you guys to understand that as Leah and I were listening to the Strzok testimony yesterday, we're saying things amongst ourselves. And Leah comes to me and she's like, finally, somebody has said what I've been tweeting out. This guy, this senator from Texas, or congressman, he finally puts the nail in the coffin on, because, okay, you really do need to set this up for people that...
No, I just want to play it, and then I'll play his.
How everybody was giving him a blue ribbon, a purple heart. Yeah. All the Democrats are like, I wish we could give you a purple heart. I think you're the greatest person that ever lived. And then this guy comes in and says, and calls their bluff.
I don't think Michelle's going to be happy unless I play his.
No. Play that first. You don't have to play the creepy thing first. Don't play the creepy thing.
You were saying don't play. I was going to play the creepy thing first.
Oh, okay.
That's the creepy thing.
Oh.
That I was going to play first.
Oh, yeah. I wanted you to play the senator from Texas first. Congressman, whatever he is.
I've talked to FBI agents around the country. You've embarrassed them.
No. There's a longer one. Play the longer one first.
Wonder when I see you.
No.
Okay, guys.
It's like a surprise birthday party or opening presents. Like Leah's trying to get
I've talked to FBI agents around.
Hang on, I'm trying to find it. I thought I had the right one up. You're gonna have to give me a minute.
You guys, this is better than sports. It's worth the wait. It's so hilarious. Leah spent the entire day yesterday coming at us constantly. Wait, you have to see this. Wait, you have to see this. And I would be busy doing things, and she would be bringing me her phone or bringing me the laptop, and it was so crazy. All right, here we go.
Clinton's emails.
I do not.
Thank you, Leah.
Well, let me refresh your recollection. The intelligence community, Inspector General Chuck McCullough, sent his investigator, Frank Rucker, along with an ICIG attorney, Jeanette McMillan, to brief you and Dean
You probably skip ahead a
Chappelle
little bit. It was like the last 5 minutes,
two
wasn't it?
other FBI. How many times did
Look
you
at his
look
face.
so innocent?
Here it is. That's perfect. That's a good spot right there.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry.
Wait.
No,
and then he
okay.
threw a bone to the Democrats and said, but we can't find bias. And let me tell you, when you have text messages, Mr. Strzok, the way you do, saying the things you did, you've been better off coming in here and say, look, that was my bias. And you kind of get around to that a little bit when you say, hey, everybody's got political views. Those are called biases. And we all have them. And you have come in here and said, I had no bias. And you do it with a straight face. And I watched in the private testimony you gave. And I told some of the other guys, he is really good. He's lying. He knows. We know he's lying. And he could probably pass polygraph. It's amazing.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. Point of order.
Look at his face. Pause it right there. Pause it right there. Wait. You're not pausing. Okay, now. We're going to reveal something to you later in the show about this little face that he does. Now, Leah, tell him what it's called. The Duper's Delight. Okay? When these people, and I didn't notice this until after the fact. We watch it back after the fact, after that one creepy scene. What happens is, tell him what it is.
Well, it's when you get so excited about lying, you literally physically can't keep your excitement in that you pulled the wool over someone's eyes. It's reported that Hitler, when he fooled Chamberlain into thinking that he was pulling out of Poland, but he really had troops to go into Poland to attack, he had to take a pause, leave the room with his generals, jump up and down, scream excitedly, gain his composure, and then go back in.
Right.
Okay? You'll notice this, that when people they get a high from getting away with the lies.
And so you saw this lady defend him right here, and I'm seeing that same Duper's Delight on his face, and that's why I wanted you to pause it. Now you can carry on.
Point of order.
A member of this committee just asserted that this witness, who is under oath and a former agent of the FBI, lied.
And by the way, it's a man, and he sounds like a woman.
Yeah. That I asked him to withdraw it.
I do not withdraw it. He is not a member of Congress. It's not a violation of the rule. And just
That's a big deal.
You have been expressing bias through your members about what a hero
There's not
is.
a single person on this committee who has ever characterized a witness.
Gentleman
as
from
lying.
Rhode Island. Gentleman.
My time.
That's a just.
This guy kept interrupting the whole time.
Now the disgrace,
Mr.
what this man has done.
The gentleman from
justice,
Texas will suspend for a moment.
There is the disgrace. And it won't be recaptured anytime soon because of the damage you've done to the justice system. And I've talked to FBI agents around the country. You've embarrassed them. You've embarrassed yourself. And I can't help but wonder
Here it
when
is.
I see you looking there with a little smirk, how many times did you look so innocent into your wife's eye and lie to her about Lisa?
Mr. Chairman, this is outrageous.
Boom!
Dude
Dude said it. Go back, rewind it, show that guy's face again. He laughs.
No, the disgrace.
Mr.
Yeah, this is worth hearing like 5 times.
Texas will suspend for a moment.
There is the disgrace.
Oh my gosh.
And it won't be recaptured anytime soon because of the damage you've done to the justice system. And I've talked to FBI agents around the country. You've embarrassed them. You've embarrassed yourself. And I can't help but wonder
I'm going to
when
show
I see
you a video of
looking
this other
there
guy
with a little
too.
smirk, how many times did
There's
you
this
look
guy
so
here.
innocent into your wife's eye and lie to her about
Mr. Chairman, this is outrageous.
That guy's laughing. Oh my gosh, he's so laughing.
And you,
Please,
Mr. Chairman, this is intolerable harassment of the witness.
wrong with that? You need your medication.
The gentleman controls the time.
I ask that the witness be permitted to respond.
He will be permitted.
Despicable search.
He will be
did
permitted
you
to
ever
respond. The
talk
gentleman
to
controls
Hillary
the time.
Clinton during
Oh
your
my gosh,
investigation,
so great.
besides the one questioning you mentioned, before that or after that
You're going
to
to love
this
this
day?
answer
Point of
too.
order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. The gentleman will state his point of order. It is, I think, against the rules of the House for a member of the committee to be impugning the character of a witness.
It is
He
not.
should ask questions.
It is
to
not.
The purpose
Straight
of this hearing
face.
is to elicit information. He should ask questions to elicit information. He should not be impugning the character.
Impugning the
of the witness.
character.
The gentleman is advised the rules of the House only are directed to members
And look at
of the
his little
House and the
duper's
President.
delight on his face there.
Therefore, in other words, it is okay to impugn the character of witnesses in any way whatsoever?
Well, listen, I've heard many members on your side of the aisle impugn the character of somebody who is covered by the rules of the House. But the gentleman...
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
The
did.
gentleman has 20 seconds left. The clock will be turned back on, and he can complete his time, and then the witness can respond.
Look at this. He is
So if you talk to Hillary
fired
other
up.
than Hillary Clinton, other than the time she was examined in front of the witnesses.
No.
So after
Look at his
throwing
little
away
face.
what you have with all the bias you have, you've never even gotten
Look
to
at
thank
his
you.
creepy
I yield back.
face.
The gentleman...
After all the biases you've had, you've never even gotten a thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he did. I want to pronounce it. I don't know how to say that guy's last name, but I'm going to say Gomer because I think it sounds French. It could just be Gomert, but I think it's Gomer. I love Mr. Gomer. That guy is on fire, okay? And you're going to hear it again because there are other things that we have to show you. It just gets better. It's going to get better.
So this guy makes Peter Strzok read his text messages, which I'm not going to put you through the torment that I had to go through with his explanation. He tries to explain away that he could smell the Trump support. He tries to explain away that he did not mean that they were redneck hillbillies. He tries to explain away the we meant the American people would stop Trump from being president.
No, you big fat liar.
Oh, it's getting underway. There's Congressman Darrell Issa.
You're aware of it.
I'm aware of their statements to us about how they did it.
And you think it was okay for Secretary Clinton to determine what could or couldn't qualify for her to turn in under the Federal Records Act?
I can't speak to that. That was a decision, my understanding, between her and her attorneys. And
Okay, but you're aware that in her production she failed to deliver some items that have now been ruled as classified, correct?
I'm aware that we recovered information that was not in the material that she turned over. I don't know if it was her failure, the failure of the attorneys conducting that sort, or simply because she didn't have it. I don't know the answer to that question.
So I bring up something that came up in the previous rounds. So far, only you have determined what should be turned over from your private emails that, or your non-government emails and text, what should be delivered because it was government in nature. You've made that decision.
We
That's
lost
right.
Facebook
And it's your
Live.
position
We'll
that
have to start it again.
nobody
It's
else
fine. I'll
in
just
the
start
way
it
of a
again.
government entity should be able to look over your shoulder, so to speak, and make that decision.
That's right.
So you think it's okay for the target, and you are a target of an investigation, to determine what should be delivered rather than, if you will, the government, right?
Sir, I'm not aware of any investigation of which I'm a target.
Well, you're a target of our investigation. We think that you had a bias and you acted on it. And that's been made pretty clear. So I'm going to just ask one series of questions very quickly, if I could. You did a number of texts. All of the texts that are presented to us, as far as I know, came from your government phone, correct?
I believe that to be the case, yes.
So you've made no text available from your private phone, is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you ever text on your private phone?
I did.
Did you ever text Lisa Page on your private phone?
I did.
Did you ever text Lisa Page on your private phone similar text to the ones you did on your government phone?
By similar, you mean what?
Commenting on Mr. Trump or Hillary Clinton or anything else political in nature.
I don't specifically recall, but it's probably a safe assumption that yes,
So
I did.
it's likely that they'd be similar.
It's a safe assumption. I don't.
So your personal phone has likely similar text to the ones that we found on your government phone. That's correct?
I would say it has similar expressions of personal belief. Yes.
Okay, so in front of you have a one sheet of paper that was presented to you a few minutes ago, and I'm going to just go to a date and then ask you to read your own words. March 4th, 2016.
You want me to read this?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. OMG, he's an idiot.
May 4th, 2016.
Now the pressure really starts to finish MYE.
July 19th, 2016.
Hi, how was Trump other than a douche? Melania?
July 21st, 2016.
Trump is a disaster. I have no idea how destabilizing his presidency would be.
August 6th, 2016.
I don't believe I wrote this text, sir.
Okay, it's been attributed to you, so we'll go on to the next.
Incorrect.
August 8th, 2016.
Again.
And I'll preface it by saying this for context. Ms. Page said, not ever going to become president, right? Right?
No, he's not. We'll stop it.
Repeat that again.
No, he's not. We'll stop it.
August 15th, 2016.
It's not important right now.
I want
No,
to
I
believe
know.
the path you threw out for consideration in Andy's office, that there's no way he gets elected, but I'm afraid we can't take that risk. It's like an insurance policy in the unlikely event you die before you're 40.
On October 20th, 2016.
I can't pull away and I defer to the chairman whether
You
or
can
not
just
they'd
use
like me to
one letter if you
defend
don't mind.
it. What the F happened to our country, Lise?
Okay, read it again that
The way he says lease,
Did you not?
That's
was it not
creepy.
intelligible?
Hear it
You
one
just
more
want to
time.
hear it
Yeah.
for me to repeat it.
Please.
Okay, sir. Sure. Happy to indulge you. I can't pull away. What the F happened to our country, Lise?
that's real.
Why in the world do you believe that this committee should not ask for the record of similar text from your private account to find out what else you might have said about insurance policies or about the President of the United States or investigation? That is a rhetorical question you need not answer, and I yield back.
Mr. Chairman, may I nonetheless answer?
You may
Not on my boat.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we lost Facebook Live. I believe it was shut down. I'm not even kidding, because I can't get in now. It's removed my credentials. We've been streaming on Facebook Live for the past 6 months. Okay?
I just tried to log into my Facebook because I wanted to find something without logging into Facebook on my computer. It kicked me out.
And then it told you that there was a video that we had done that they removed.
On Sunday.
Sunday's
Our Sunday
video
was
was
taken down.
because of
last Friday, something
because
about
of
ICE.
some third party reported it. So for fear of it messing up our live stream for YouTube, we're just not going to even try right now to finish the Facebook Live.
Wow.
I'm really, really sorry
You can't even get on the Facebook Live. That's insane.
about that.
So, yeah, guys, that's pretty crazy censorship going on right now. Speaking of the censorship,
They're going to try to shut this down, because here's the deal. Peter Strzok is the lapdog of bigger powers that be. Okay?
Right.
And if he gets found out, it's going to lead like a trail of breadcrumbs back to those that are fully responsible. And that is why they are trying to shut this down. I think now would be a good time to go ahead and go to the satanic video so that our viewers can understand what is going on right now. Why is this such a big deal? It's spreading like a virus, like a good virus, actually. I don't know, it's not a virus. It's spreading like a healing that doesn't really spread, but you'll get my idea what I'm trying to say here. It's spreading like wildfire. It's really, really awesome.
I wonder when I see you looking there with a little smirk, how many times?
No, don't play that one yet.
Why not?
I want them to see the original first, and then they can see the parody of it.
Okay.
That's the parody with
Michelle is running the show today, if you haven't noticed.
I'm really excited about this. Can you tell?
Yeah, Michelle does surprises. Like, you're not allowed to do surprises.
Gateway Pundit has it if you can't find it.
Yeah, I know.
And we've shared it on...
I'm trying to find which one I have. Michelle's running my show.
You know what? It's good for me to help you run your show.
So, a video clip of Trump-hating FBI agent Peter Strzok at Thursday's Marathon House hearing by the Judiciary Oversight Committee shows Strzok smirking. Okay, so last night I showed it to Michelle.
It's not just a smirk.
Hang on. Last night I showed it to Michelle. And I was like, this is real. And she's like, no, it's not real. I said, yes, it's real. And so I spent like all night long trying to figure out if this was real. This is real.
Totally real.
He really does do this. So I'm going to show
Everybody
you
has
this version first.
You answered that question. So now the gentleman from Maryland has already answered.
Go to the one at the bottom. All the way at the bottom.
Hang on. One moment. Okay. You know what you should have done? If you wanted to do it, you should have brought up on your XSplit. Then you could have been in charge.
Just show them the other one.
Sir, what I have a problem. What I'm saying is that the gentleman has already answered that question. So now the gentleman from Maryland.
What is that?
What I have a problem. What I'm saying is that the gentleman has already answered that question. So now the gentleman from Maryland.
Okay, not even. This cannot
So if you're just now joining us, Leah is going to repeat after the last one the whole Duper's Delight explanation.
Has already answered that question. So now the gentleman.
I can't look at it.
Go to the one all the way at the bottom.
Hang on, we're gonna go through them all. Here's the pictures.
Okay, right, here we go.
So
this
here
one right
is where he's really questioned and where.
So you can understand why he gets this Duper's Delight, because somebody defends him.
That you were removed from this case.
I am here under oath. I am not lying. I have never lied under oath, and I never will. And so the insinuation,
you liar.
Insinuation.
What's hilarious about this, you guys, is he says, I've never lied. I'm not lying. I've never lied under oath. But you just spent like however long, months and months and months, using a government phone, purposefully telling your little girlfriend that we're going to use our government phone so we can talk to our spouses. So there's literally sitting on his phone.
So we can talk to each other and our spouses won't know. That's what you meant to just say.
On the phone, in the living room
let's
with
put
your
this,
family.
exactly. Let's break it down to like a real life moment.
And you're texting, hey, Lise, Hillary Clinton, blah, blah, blah. And who all knows nasty, crazy things? They're texting back and forth. And his wife's like, hey, what you doing?
This is top security.
Top secret government
can't
stuff.
tell you what it is.
What one person pointed out was like, you can't be having an affair on a government phone because people could use that for blackmail. But I guess, obviously, it doesn't matter in this world.
The direct comment that you somehow say you have an integrity issue is insulting.
You cheated on your wife with a
government
coworker.
time with a government phone.
It's insulting. I don't have integrity.
Nothing
I never mentioned your personal life. I just simply said the amount of time that you were spending on the taxpayers' dollar, wasting it when you were supposed to be doing your job, texting back and forth to the court is a problem.
And
what I'm saying is,
and the gentleman has already answered that question. So now the gentleman from Maryland.
It's so creepy. It's demonic. It is demon possession. Now you may go to your little parody one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I can't help but wonder when I see you looking there with a little smirk, how many times did you look so innocent into your wife's eye and lie to her about me? Mr.
The gentleman.
Thank you. Who did that? Thank you. Thank you, Jesus.
You can check out.
No, they didn't get to see
Dunk
Trump's
from-
face behind your head.
Carpe-
Can you play that again? We're
We're
gonna play it again.
With a little smirk.
Just make sure
How
you're at
many
the end.
times did you look so innocent into your wife's eye and lie to her about Lisa?
Mr. Chairman, it's outrageous. Mr. Chairman, this is intolerable harassment.
The gentleman.
Here it comes. Now wait for the. Oh my gosh, Leah. This is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Guess who's back? Still doing this. Andre, oh for sure. Yeah. Check it out. It's still Dre Day, AK.
All right, so
Oh my
I do
gosh.
have
Oh
for
my
you-
gosh, that is the best thing ever.
I do have for you.
Thank you, Jesus,
an
whoever did
interview
that.
here.
You've embarrassed them, you've embarrassed yourself, and I can't help but wonder when I see you looking there with a little smirk, how many times did you look so innocent into your wife's eye and lie to her about Lisa?
Mr. Chairman, it's outrageous.
Credibility of a witness
Shame
is
on
always
you,
an
Mr.
issue,
Chairman.
and
Mr.
you
Chairman, please,
Mr. Chairman, this is intolerable harassment of the
What's
witness.
wrong with that? You need your medication.
It was a free-for-all, and you heard that comment in, do you need your medication? Congressman Louis Gohmert, did you lose your temper, or did you intend to bring up his personal life decisions?
No, I didn't go into it intending to do that, but as I sat there listening to him so smugly, his little smirk, and he had lied repeatedly, and he knew he was lying, he knew I knew he was lying, and yet he still would lie. And I'm telling you, the unfortunate thing is about that last exchange I had with him, it may have clouded over a very, very important story, and that is that he was told by the intelligence community Inspector General's investigator, Frank Rucker, that they had found an anomaly in the emails going to and from Hillary Clinton's unauthorized private server, and it was when they forensically examined the anomaly, they found embedded information, and it was a foreign entity, not Russia, but a foreign entity that was getting every single one of her over 30,000 emails.
So wait, Congressman, just to stop you there. So you're saying that in Hillary Clinton's emails, they were forwarded to somebody else?
Yes, and it was because they were hacked. And Horowitz didn't point that out, you know. The previous story, you know, that Comey gave us, well, it was not a good server. It was possible that it got hacked, but there was no evidence it was hacked. And then we find out, and that's what I brought out today, that the intelligence community IG brought it to their attention, and they did nothing. And this is a foreign entity, not related to Russia in the least, that is getting everyone. There were only 4 of over 30,000 emails and they didn't get. They were going to and from. She compromised America's security.
Congressman, one of the many people who questioned Peter Strzok today.
Oh my gosh. I love this man. He's a new favorite of mine. Congressman, now that guy pronounced it Gohmert. I like Gohmert.
Indictment charges 12 Russian.
Okay, no, you have to stay on that same topic. What about the guy with the face in the background? Where's that?
The guy with the face. That's what I was trying to find, and they kicked me out of Facebook, and I can't find where it was at.
You didn't share it on your Twitter?
No, it was on my Facebook.
You're supposed to share it everywhere,
it was
so we can go
on
back
my Facebook, and I was trying to find it, and now I can't find it, but it's absolutely hilarious. And now I have to scroll through my feed on Facebook. There's a guy who there's a guy in the background who they totally scrolled up on him.
I'm trying to find it right now.
Guy in the background of Peter Strzok. You bet you could find it if you Googled that.
I tried that.
Guy in background Peter Strzok. I might be getting somewhere. I don't know.
You know what? This is Google, so like, I need to do it on
might
YouTube.
Have to do it on YouTube. Maybe have you guys seen it? Because dang, it's so hilarious. And if we don't find it now, we'll find it. We'll find it sometime. Let me try just really quick.
They're going to be
might have
willing
been
to be patient.
It might have been the Conservative Tribune, but let me see.
Wow. They're trying to scrub all of this stuff from the internet. I have to tell you, it's okay, hang on, I think I found it.
Yes, that's
is that the right one though?
I think, but it's going to be close enough. It's
all right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch this scene over so you guys can see it. All right. So while Peter Strzok was testifying, there was a guy with incredible eyebrows behind him making faces.
Faces. Oh, I found that too. So
is yours better?
I don't think.
But I mean,
so.
I already have mine pulled up. So
Yeah,
let's see what happens here.
They show the whole video. As if it's just no, you need the video.
Let me see.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this to Resistance Chicks, and you'll find it. It's there. Okay.
It's on Resistance Chicks Facebook page.
I just shared it to Resistance Chicks, yeah. Not just because it's funny, but because reactions perfectly capture the shock and surprises that I had. So I didn't know what I was expecting. I started to scream when Gomer started to do his thing.
Yeah.
Like Michelle's like, what are you screaming about? I was like, I've been watching these really harsh exchanges. It's hard to watch Strzok go back and forth because he lies. But
if you guys aren't following us on Resistance Chicks on Facebook, look, this is where you need to be. Okay, here we go. This is the dude.
This is the dude who stole the day.
This is so great.
Oh my gosh.
You're going to love it. We're going to watch this whole thing.
BBB evaluates businesses and gives them a letter grade from A+ to F. So we asked the resident experts on report cards, what is a good grade?
A+.
I'm not going to even take
An
it.
A+.
It's amazing.
Mr. Chairman.
I want you guys to watch this, guys.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. Point of order. This point of order.
No, the gentleman will state his point of order.
A member of this committee just asserted that this witness who is under oath and a former agent of the FBI lied. There is no evidence that I asked him to withdraw it.
I do not withdraw it. He is not a member of Congress. It's not a violation of the rule. And just as you have been expressing bias through your members about what a hero
there is not a single person on this committee who has ever characterized a witness.
Gentleman from Rhode Island. Gentleman from Rhode Island will suspend.
No, the disgrace,
Mr.
what this man has done.
The gentleman from Texas will suspend for a moment.
There is the disgrace. And it won't be recaptured
love
because of the damage you've done to the justice system. And I've talked to FBI agents around the country. You've embarrassed them. You've embarrassed yourself. And I can't help but wonder, you looking there with a little smirk, how many times did you look so innocent into your wife's eye and lie to her about
Mr. Chairman, this is outrageous.
Please,
you know, Chairman, this is a
The gentleman controls the time.
I asked the witness committee to respond. He will be permitted.
He will be permitted.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
Clinton, during your investigation, besides the one before that or after that, to this
Western Germany.
Okay. I could watch that so many times. I wanted to say hallelujah and thank you, Jesus. My life is so awesome. My life is so awesome. I knew that Peter Strzok was going to testify. And I thought that some things might come out, and I thought it might be entertaining. I had no clue it was going to make my whole week. I'm telling you, if you can't walk away with the joy of the Lord after seeing this stuff, I don't know how you're yawning.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Oh my gosh, my stomach hurts. That was ab exercise.
So there was
Thank you, man with the beautiful eyebrows.
Yeah.
For making those faces.
Yes.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, I want to get him on our show. Like, I don't know who he is, but he needs to be on our show.
This is a lone Trump supporter on Parliament Square and surrounded by angry anti-Trump protesters where the baby, Trump baby is flying high. You have this black dude with a Make America Great hat with a Trump shirt surrounded by Trump haters in the UK.
I love it.
So awesome.
And we're going to get to the whole Trump thing. Are you doing that right now?
We are going to go through my things. You ask me.
Okay, first of all, because I like to stay on topic, keep things in the category.
I don't have it up in order. And so if I miss something, then I have to go back. So sometimes you just roll with it.
All right.
So sometimes you need a break like a commercial.
Okay, commercial break. Let's go to Drunk Yunker. In the NATO meeting, when this is also hilarious, you all are going to love it.
Here's the thing. It is the same because it's in the same vein of hilarity. Okay?
Tonight's just going to be, this is going to tickle your funny bone. Why are there only 77 people watching this right now? Why have you guys not shared this everywhere? This is going to be one of the best episodes of Resistance Chicks you've seen in a long time.
Yunker should not have even been there. He's not a world leader. Okay? Nigel's like, why is he even there? He should not have even been there. However, when we started to cover the EU, our UK viewers kept saying, oh, there he's drunk again. He's drunk again. I thought they were kind of joking a little bit.
No, he literally cannot start the day without alcohol.
So you watch him and you think he's just like an old man who can't steady himself. He is drunker than a skunk. And so they stand there and they try to hold him up. Now they're going down the stairs.
They are holding this man. He is not old and decrepit. Like, you would help an old person get down the stairs like that.
No, he's not sick. He's not injured. He's just drunk. Like, seriously drunk. Like, he doesn't have any physical impairments except for, like, somebody catch him. Going out. And Trump...
No, wait, watch Trump go
right by.
Boom, boom, boom. Trump kind of gives, like, a little look out of the corner of his eye and then just keeps on walking. I have to tell you, our First Lady has so much class, it's not even funny. She just, like, and I watch this.
And he's joking. I'm just shuffling along like a little drunk. Here I go, here I go, here I go. And you know, it's fuzzy, so we can bring it up again.
I'm gonna, when I do the UK thing that I have set up, we're gonna, no, I might just do it right now.
Well, we'll do it again on Sunday.
Okay, we'll do it again on Sunday. And it'll be more clear because you have to see Trump's face when he walks by.
Okay, I'm going to give you a quick punchline here, and then we're going to go into some more serious, not more serious, but we're going to go in long, we're going to watch about 10 or 15 minutes of the Trump May. You're going to love it because everything that Trump says is a mic drop, okay? But this right here, I want you to just, like, you need this.
Since you're a taxi, and then can I ask you a question? John Roberts, go ahead, John. No. John Roberts.
Oh my gosh, I don't have the speaker. Hang on.
CNN's fake news. I don't take questions from CNN. CNN is fake news. I don't take questions from CNN. John Roberts of Fox. Let's go to a real network. John, let's go.
Well, we're a real network too. So.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, we'll do that again.
Okay, so earlier people were saying, I can't hear. What you couldn't hear was the videos. I have to literally put the speaker next to our microphone so that you can hear it. And so you probably missed some of the Strzok stuff. You're going to have to play them again. Sorry.
Since you're a taxi, and then can I ask you a question?
And I will put the link.
John Roberts, go ahead, John. No. John Roberts, go ahead. CNN's fake news. I don't take questions. I don't take questions from CNN. CNN is fake news. I don't take questions from CNN. John Roberts of Fox. Let's go to a real network. John, let's go.
Well, we're a real network too, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I don't take questions from fake news. Can you imagine any president, any world leader at a press conference where things are supposed to be prim and proper and everything set in its place saying, I don't take questions from you, the biggest network in America, because you're fake news. That is what President Trump does. The man has no filter whatsoever.
So he was interviewed for The Sun, and he didn't actually like the way they portrayed him. However, he did say some nice things about Mayor Khan. He said,
and I'm going to bring up photo shots that Barry sent to me while Leah reads this of the actual Sun article so you guys can see that.
Saying that Khan has done a terrible job on terrorism and crime. I think allowing millions of people to come into Europe is very, very sad, the president told The Sun ahead of his working visit to the United Kingdom. I look at cities in Europe. I can be specific if you'd like. You have a mayor who has done a terrible job in London. He has done a terrible job. Take a look at the terrorism that is taking place. Look at what is going on in London. I think he has done a very bad job on terrorism. Khan, who infamously suggested that terrorism was part and parcel of living in a great global city, admitted that there were about 200 former Islamic State fighters at large in the British capital shortly after the London Bridge attacks. Trump says at least 7 dead and 47 wounded in a terror attack, and Mayor of London says there's no reason to be alarmed. Pathetic excuse by London Mayor Sadiq Khan, who had to think fast on his no reason to be alarmed statement. MSM is working hard to sell. That was back in June of 2017. He also criticized Major Khan's record on London's ongoing crime wave, saying that he has done a bad job on crime. If you look, all the horrible things going on there and all the crime that is being brought in, you're 115 times more likely to have acid thrown on you in London than you are to be part of a mass shooting in the United States.
Wow. But apparently having acid thrown on your face and being disfigured for the rest of your life is okay.
And so I feel like the whole Trump baby balloon and the protests were the best thing that they could have done for Trump, because Trump came in, he had an excuse, 2 barrels blazing. You come and attack me, I will take you down. I am the president of the United States, and I'm not going to listen to some mamby-pamby mayor, who, obviously is just crazy. All right, here's the thing, and back to Strzok.
Well, good afternoon.
CNN torches FBI agent Strzok's claim that his texts aren't indicative of bias. Very interesting.
So much.
I will play this for you. He's explaining the will stop it, and you need to see how he spins things.
Here's what I want to know. Who's the he, and he's not?
Not going to become president.
He is then candidate Trump.
So when you said, no, Donald Trump's not, in connection with the question, going to become president, what's the it?
Chairman Gotti.
Stop it.
Chairman Gotti, that text needs to be taken in the context
I'm asking, look, if you want to have a debate over a 2-letter word, we're going to have to do that some other time. What and who did you mean by it?
Mr. Gotti, as I've stated, that text was written late at night in shorthand.
I don't care when it was written. I don't.
Before, you know what he said? I don't remember writing it.
Oh, really?
The same testimony. He says, I don't remember writing it.
But now he knows when it was written, late at night.
And how he was feeling, how he was tired.
I don't care whether it was longhand, cursive. I don't care about any of that. I want to know what it meant, Agent Strzok.
It would be his candidacy for the presidency.
Wasn't that tough?
And my sense that the American population would not vote him into office.
Right. Well, we hadn't gotten to the will yet.
Well, I'm trying to cut to the chase and explain the text.
The will is the American people. Is that right?
I'm trying to cut to the text and explain what I wrote. I wrote it. I don't recall writing it, but I'm going to explain to you what I don't recall.
That's your testimony. The will stop it. You were speaking on behalf of the American people. Is that correct?
Mr. Gowdy, what my testimony is and what I said during extensive asking of this question during my prior interview is I don't recall writing that text.
Are you denying writing the text?
What I can tell you is that text in no way.
Whoa, okay. Sydney. Sydney.
Sydney just fell off the couch.
Sydney.
She went and got one of Jasper's treats. I kind of watched that happen. And then she jumped on the couch, but wasn't exactly steady. And she was eating it. And then she kind of tumbled like Humpty Dumpty, fell off the couch. We're all fine here. We're all fine here.
Okay, so did you just see how horrible he lied there? She's fine. We're all fine.
We're all good.
It was a really bad lie because he literally tries to explain it away in the beginning. Like, this is what liars do. Like, okay, it was late at night. I meant the American people. And then listen to this.
Testimony is, and what I said during extensive asking of this question during my prior interview is, I don't recall writing that text.
So what you should have said was, if I had said it, this is what I would have meant.
Right.
But I don't recall
or
saying.
if I remember, if I had remembered saying it, because
You
obviously you
can't-
can't deny having
No,
said it.
son, Strzok. You can't use two lies in one thing.
You have to pick one.
You
Gotta pick one.
You have to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get
But
to
I
do the
deny
wiggle dance
you
for
the
that.
text. What I
No
can tell you
wiggles.
is that text in no way suggested that I or the FBI would take any action to influence the.
Doesn't matter that I don't remember writing it. I just can tell you what I meant, but I don't remember writing it.
Candidacy of
Agent
candidate-
Strzok,
that is a fantastic answer to a question nobody asked.
Oh, Trey Gowdy.
Here's more
Thank
lies.
you for the opportunity to testify before your committees again, this time in an open hearing. I testify today with significant regret, recognizing that my
buzz is
texts
on
have
their
created confusion and caused pain for people I love. Certain private messages of mine have provided ammunition for misguided attacks against the FBI, an institution that I love deeply and have served proudly for over 20 years. I'm eager to answer your questions, but let me first address those much discussed texts. Like many people, I had and expressed personal political opinions during an extraordinary presidential election.
Pause it right
Many-
there. Now, he does go on to say that he didn't have any bias, even though right here he just admitted his own personal opinions. Carry on.
Contained expressions of concern for the security of our country, opinions that were not always expressed in terms I'm proud of.
So you had
But
some
having worked in
opinions.
national security for
Some
2
bias.
decades and proudly served in the U.S. Army, those opinions were expressed out of deep patriotism and an unyielding belief in our great American democracy.
Okay, so we're supposed to believe that you are loyal to the country and a patriot to the country, but you're having an affair on your wife.
Because he, in so many terms, he gets it, and liars do this. You all know liars that do this.
Habitual
They get their
liars.
face and they show such indignation. How dare you say that I would do or say something like that? I'm so offended that you would think that I would betray my country, even though I betrayed my wife. But obviously my country comes far before my wife. So as long as you pay attention to my expressions on my face that are very extreme and my tone of voice that is very fervent, then you know that I'm telling the truth.
Which is why he got so emotional trying to lie like that, which is why the wiggle came out. All right, even CNN.
Oh
You know when CNN's throwing you under the bus, your days are over, son.
Yeah.
Partisan bias.
The texts between Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, they are so damning.
They are, Wolf, which is why what Gloria is laying out here, yes, that is Strzok's mission today, is try to walk this line of, I have personal political views, it didn't impact my work at all. That may be true, but when he says that those texts, quote, not indicative of bias, that's just flat wrong on its face. It is indicative of bias. I understand his point is, well, that bias didn't infiltrate into my work, into my conduct in the professional capacity, but you can understand why, when you look at the language of those texts, that it's very easy to point to a bias that this FBI agent was expressing. I mean, it sort of goes to the sort of rule that exists. You should put nothing in text or email that you are not comfortable seeing on the front page of the New York Times or on CNN's banner across the bottom of the screen there. He didn't follow that rule, and so now he's in this position. Gloria is right to note that he remains defiant. He has not apologized in any way for this behavior or expressing these things. He's just trying to make this case, but I think it's a tough case for him to make because of the simple nature of those texts.
And it's a very tough case, Jim Shooter, to make when we know that Robert Mueller, the special counsel, fired him after learning about all these texts.
And then he goes on to say to Trey Gowdy, Trey, I am highly and deeply offended that you think that Mueller fired me because of those texts and he thought that I might have bias. That is not why I was fired.
You know what is so interesting, like you just said, when CNN is ready to throw you under the bus, you know you about to die. Because CNN is walking a very fine line here by calling out Peter Strzok's bias and by essentially throwing him under the bus. Because like I said earlier, there is a trail of breadcrumbs that is going to lead back to people that they are still trying to cover up. And they think that if they throw Peter Strzok to the lions, then that might appease the lions, and it's not.
Watch again. So now the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Raskin, is recognized.
Watch again.
And the gentleman has already answered that question. So now the gentleman
Can you,
from Maryland,
okay, all right,
Mr.
I'll pause it
Raskin.
right there. Because we have new people here that did not hear about the Duper's Delight, I want you to re-explain it to them one more time.
All right, so Peter Strzok was at the House, judicial hearing committee, whatever. Sorry. And he lied.
Liar.
So badly that, unfortunately, though, as I was going through Twitter, the Democrats who believed him, like the liberals, like normal people, like, oh my gosh, he totally threw down Trey Gowdy. I'm like,
you didn't watch the same interview I watched.
I believe him so much. I'm like, I'm sure that's what his wife said.
Yeah.
Before she saw the text messages. Like, he is a classic, perfect liar to carry on these things.
If you can pull the wool over your wife's eyes that you are having an affair on her.
For a continued long-term affair that's deeply embedded in your work and in your phone and in everything.
And yet you have people that still believe that you'll be telling the truth. Then you pretty good.
This wasn't a one-time affair. He continued this on. Like, his every day he was going to work, he was carrying on a lie. Every person that he saw at work, he was lying to.
So the Duper's Delight thing.
What happens is it's psychological. When a person who is a habitual liar gets away with a lie, they literally cannot contain their excitement. It's like psychological. It's said that when Hitler was in negotiations with Chamberlain, and he told Chamberlain that he was getting ready to pull out of Poland when he really had troops stationed outside, that when Chamberlain agreed to the terms and believed him, he had to leave the room and with his generals and get up and shout and jump because he was so excited that he had lied successfully, and then come back.
So this is a clinical, real term of a psychological thing that happens to compulsive and habitual liars, and it is called dupers, to be duped, to dupe someone. Duper's Delight. And this is what he expresses right here in this instance.
What I'm saying is that the gentleman has already answered that question. So now the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Raskin.
He looks like a child when he does that.
What I'm saying is that the gentleman has already answered that
It's just as good every time I see it.
Now the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Raskin.
You're done for. You're done.
Oh my gosh.
You're done.
Wow.
You're just done. All right, Hillary comes unhinged over Trump's SCOTUS nominee. They want to take us back to 1950. There was a GFI or whatever that was trying to do. I was trying to find of Hillary Clinton as I was scrolling through those, where Hillary Clinton does the same, like, legal. I think it's a thing. Let me see if it's keyed up here.
And let me say a word about the nomination of Judge Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. This nomination holds out the threat of devastating consequences for workers' rights, civil rights, LGBT rights, women's rights, including those to make our own health decisions. It is a blatant attempt by this administration to...
Pause. When she was candidate, Clinton, she got like more stuff for her face to make her not look like the emperor. There's makeup that you can put on your face to make you not look like the emperor.
There is makeup that the Japanese or the Asian people
I bet
use.
that's what they were doing to her. Don't you think that's what they were doing to her?
You need to pull that up, man. And with that guy's reactions, I will pull it up. Carry on.
To shift the balance of the court for decades and to reverse decades of progress. You know, I used to worry that they wanted to turn the clock back to the 1950s. Now I worry they want to turn it back to the 1850s.
Wouldn't that be fun? Horses and buggies and farming.
These will be urgent fights. The stakes could not be higher. Civil rights and workers' rights and everything that represents the progress we have made over more than 125 years.
I'm going to go back to about 1906. So let's go 112. I think that's probably good. And to that I say, you're absolutely right. Satan, you lost. God won. Hallelujah. We're going to get back what y'all took from us with the whole bankers and the Federal Reserve. Compulsory education. Rewriting history. Taking prayer out of schools. Guess what? But you know what we aren't going to turn back? We aren't going to turn back to those things. Like, we've come far. Our whole country is about a birth of a nation and getting better and better and better.
Right.
And we were getting better and better and better until the bankers took over and the globalists took it over. But guess what? We're going good places.
Okay, hang on. I got this. All right.
To make our country freer and fairer, to pursue the dream of a more perfect union.
Oh, like with your marriage with Bill?
Yeah, a more perfect union.
Okay, play your thing.
All right, so Leah showed this to me the other day. This has no precedent, not precedent, that's not the right word. This has no bearing on anything other than the fact that they can make people look like anything. Okay? These Asian girls that don't look like this, they put contacts in their eyes. This is like, do you remember in Mission Impossible,
we saw
where Tom Cruise ends up looking like that completely different person?
Okay,
takes the
wait.
mask
This
off.
is what I want you to see.
Oh, this is that. I remember this. I remember this.
But we are great because we are good.
She doesn't.
And we
look
will
like
respect one another. And we will work with one another. And we
Look at her
will
face.
celebrate our diversity.
She's
These
tighter.
are very important values
The
to
face,
me.
the
because
makeup
this
looks
is
so
the
much
America
better
that
now.
I know.
I thought you had that Duper's Delight scene. Queued
No,
up.
I don't.
Oh.
No, but
She
what I
did that
want
in
you
one
to
of the
see her
debates.
face versus
Wherever you just had it.
Here.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, this was just a year ago.
Is at stake.
A year or two ago.
Not only for us.
Look at her.
But for our children and
Look
our
at her.
grandchildren.
Look how awful.
You know what, Leah? This makeup probably takes a lot of time, and let me show these people this. I'm not
Look
going
at
to play
her.
the whole thing.
Totally different person.
I'm only going to
almost.
play part of it, just so you can get an
And so
idea.
this is probably what they've done to her.
Yeah.
So I guess the Asians have like plastic things that they do to open up their. Now she's got fake on her one side, and they have literal like rubber things that open their eyes and give them a double eyelid, and they can pull back their cheeks. They can do all kinds of stuff.
So
Those
this
are
is
the
what
same
they
people.
have done to Hillary Clinton. And that's like a dude, though.
No, it's not.
It has to be a dude.
I'm serious. They do these things. You can see it in her eyes. I think the women are pretty. But they do something really weird.
It's creepy. All right, so
Now just fast forward to what he does. It's just hilarious.
the
You have
end?
to see his thing.
Okay, wait. It's right
There,
like-
just there is fine.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. I know that was just for fun because
And
you know what?
love.
Today is a fun show.
And I can pledge
that's
to you
why.
tonight that this is the America that I will serve if I...
You're done with you. All right. Deep State confirms John Podesta was victim of spear phishing after using password as his password.
Oh, wait, question. So Cecilian Gal says, you guys do know that she is planning on running again in 2020. That is the plan. The Democrats have no other plan. You need to understand that campaign season is going to start really soon, and they got nothing. They have no one that can touch Trump. So they're just going to roll Hillary Clinton right back out again, Probably put that makeup back on her and try again. She will probably end up doing the regurgitation thing that she does and the falling over thing that she does and the demon possession thing. And so Trump will probably be elected again in 2020 because they have nothing whatsoever that can touch him.
All right. So I don't want to get into this because it's just not where I want to go tonight with the show.
Because this is a fun show. Fun.
Mueller has indicted 12 Russians. Of course, there was a fake indictment against a company. It is confirmed that John Podesta was the victim of spear phishing after using the word password, the same, for his password, the same way that they hack into all of our emails. And so they were just hacked. He was just hacked. He was hacked through spear phishing, just like through whatever happens to everybody.
But if you're John Podesta and you use the password, because our guy Jay that has me managing our website and has taught me how to do all of that,
right,
makes me do the password generator thing that comes with a password that's like this long, okay? And I'm not even the FBI. I'm not CIA. I'm not top official government. I'm just Michelle with Resistance Chicks channel.
Right.
And YouTube and website. Okay. So I believe he was asking to be hacked.
Well, sure.
I think it was intentional.
All right. We're going to the UK. Melania Trump plays bowls with Theresa May's husband.
I love Melania Trump. Have I told you that? Look how beautiful she is in that dress.
It's Victoria Beckham. She was trying to be.
She's like Jackie O on like a million times steroids. Yes, she is totally classy.
The children have just got to be mesmerized by
They love her every time she comes.
Princess. They just come and give her hugs.
Every time she's dealing with children, they love her. Jesus said, "Suffer the little children to come unto me, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these."
She's really good.
She's great. All right, so I have, what all do you have? Do you want me to start bringing up my stuff? Or do you want to, NATO. Oh, do you have that clip?
I thought I had the clip. Yeah, it should be here.
Because I have that clip if you don't have the clip.
Oh, then play it there.
All right, let me.
Now, to play this up, I don't have a problem, with Germany getting a pipeline or whatever to Russia. The problem is that Trump is saying that the whole world needs to be leery of Putin. That Putin is the whole world's enemy.
Right.
But then Germany wants to literally rely, 75% of their energy on Putin.
Right.
Like, seriously? So he goes, this is what you're going to get with this. It's hilarious.
Whoop. That's not what I wanted. Sorry. Wait, now they're just playing.
Once the Brexit process...
Sorry, guys. I have to find my right one that I have. Oh, that's good. Shoot. Okay, I thought I had that one up. I don't. If you have it, go ahead. I could do my other stuff.
Okay.
Or I could pull that up. It's up to you.
I don't see it in the article here, so we just have to wait.
All right, so let me just play this other stuff that we have. All right, so we have a lot here that I want to show you, and I'm going to skim through some of this.
Queen Elizabeth meeting Trump?
We do have Queen Elizabeth meeting Trump.
Okay.
Oh, wait, let me make this a little bit so we're not looking like Peter Strzok there.
Oh, my gosh, that's hilarious.
All right, so this is how they were getting things ready. We're gonna get to the point where he gets all these guys. All right, right here. Watch this. Damn, look at Snoopy. Now this guy here, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Sometimes you don't play video, you can't hear me very well. Just try to listen. So this guy's walking behind these guys, and he's going to get them all centered 7. Get back. 8.
Still 7. 8, just back.
Just back.
7. Forward 8.
Forward 8.
9, just back.
9, press back.
7, hold on.
Back.
So down. 10, just forward. Still. 13, just forward. Still.
It's like a bad
Back side 13.
No, it is. It's just like that.
14,
Now, at the end, they kind of all just fan into place.
15, just forward.
To the short passages.
16, just forward.
16, just forward.
17, just back.
Just back.
Down. 18, just back. Oh yeah. Down. 19, just back. 7, down on.
All right, now we got everybody lined up. I'm just going to skim through some of this stuff because it took forever, and I did not watch all of it. But it was a very royal welcome, I felt. I think it's like somewhere around the 18 mark. The Queen. So she like kind of like mounts something to one of the guys when it was at the 12-minute mark. Hang on. Horatio always calls her Brenda because there was this like reality show. They called her Brenda, and so he always calls her. Those are some guns, man. Let's see. Starts coming. I'm not now look at her face. She's tickled pink. She's a fan. She's a fan of Donald Trump. And then get this. They play our national anthem. I couldn't get over it. I'm like, are you serious? Do we do that for every official night they do and I just don't know about it? Like, there's just something about them. Okay, so now that's pretty much the end of that. There's just other scenes there. So pause that, and we're gonna go to. Do you have this? Do you want me to skip this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep. There's that. There is that. Speaking of that, actually, let's go to. Nope, not that. Not that. No, that. Just for fun. Apparently, it was grounded at some point. Horatio tells me that, they had to give it a time limit of sorts because of air traffic control. We don't want it getting away. Speaking of Horatio, if you guys missed our live interview with him yesterday, it was fantastic. I want you guys to like that video, watch it, and share it. So I think this is just literally live of the balloon going up. So for protests and a demonstration, it doesn't seem that
it's an advertisement problem.
It is. It really, really, really
because
is.
any publicity is good publicity.
I don't see. This is hilarious to me. This is absolutely fantastic. I use that word over there in the UK. I don't use that word. All right, so there is that. Let's see. Did you?
You can do that.
This one I think is queued up to something really important.
Greta Karvala from Finland. What would be the best deal with Putin when you come to Helsinki? And don't you think that your harsh diplomacy, that you are playing in the same goal that
This is
Putin
the NATO
with your
summit the
harsh
day before.
diplomacy towards EU and NATO?
You should have it up already.
Well, I can't tell you what would be the ultimate. What would be the ultimate? Well, let's see. No more nuclear weapons anywhere in the world would be the ultimate, okay? No more wars, no more problems, no more conflict. Let's find a cure to every disease known to mankind or womankind. That would be my ultimate, okay? And we'll start from there.
So, when Horatio had sent me that particular clip.
Okay, by the way, I want to see a Sadiq Khan balloon. Guess what?
You're going to get your wish.
Has already been raised.
That's
in
more.
August.
That's $30,000 more than was raised for the baby Trump blimp. Okay, so there will be a baby Sadiq Khan that said, and they're going to do a protest, make London safe again.
The Queen put him under a sun tent at the back of the castle.
Now, hang on, because I want to get back to this clip here so I can explain it to you guys to understand. When Horatio had sent this to me, he said, have you ever heard a president of the United States or any world leader say that is what their desire is? No more war, no more conflict.
Right.
A cure for every disease and every ailment. Okay, what we have right now, and let me make this big so that you guys can feel me on this. What we have right now is we have a globalist agenda that is war hungry. There are a bunch of warmongers that believe in overpopulation and want to depopulate the earth. So they're trying to make us sick with vaccines, with chemicals, with fluoride in the water, with GMOs. They are keeping us under their thumb. So now we have Trump that says, you know what? We want to cure diseases and we want to stop war. That is not at all what the globalist agenda is right now. All right, so then I have all of Barry's pictures there. All right, so now we have Nigel. Let's go to Nigel Farage.
A supporter of Donald Trump who went to meet him very soon after he was elected as US President. Nigel Farage, thank you for coming along. You've been very vocal, obviously, in criticising the protests that we're expecting, especially these big protests tomorrow. But presumably, you would also accept that this is part of the democratic right of people.
Oh, the democratic right to protest, of course there is. But what is very odd is the number of people protesting Trump who don't protest when Arab dictators come who treat women as second-class citizens and conduct all sorts of barbarities against people. And for the Mayor of London, for the GLA to have allowed this blimp, to fly in Parliament Square. I mean, I can't think of any other country in the Western world that will allow that to happen. So I think that's really pretty poor behaviour.
Donald Trump, though, is something of a lightning rod for these sorts of protests because of the way he himself behaves. He has made issuing insults almost his stock in trade, hasn't he?
He's not a career politician. He's a businessman. He says it like he sees it. And look, I'm a supporter of his, but I would be the first to accept he often is very confrontational and brash in his approach. But I tell you something that is really interesting. He was elected on a ticket, a manifesto, and he's trying to carry that out. And that's a really big marked contrast to almost every other leader in the Western world.
All right, now I know you guys would all want to listen to all of Nigel there. I'm going to try to put all of these links into the...
They couldn't see the video.
What do you mean they couldn't see the video?
We can't see the video, Michelle.
I didn't switch it back. Oh, we missed Nigel's face. You know what? Then we're just going to play a little bit more of it because we missed Nigel's face. You could hear it at least.
who don't keep their promises.
I'm not sure if you heard some of what I was saying as you approached me. I was talking about that latest polling, which is more supportive than it was last year of this visit, because it is a working visit and not a state visit. So do you think that more people are separating the office of the President of the United States from the incumbent?
No, I think they are, and rationally so they should. And surely the grown-up position is, whether you like Trump or not, the relationship between us and America is important. We're the biggest reciprocal investors in each other's countries, and we need to have a good relationship.
No, that's really, really good. All right, so then we're going to go over to, here we go.
Well, I want to read some comments.
Okay.
As we engage.
Lee's going to read some comments.
Alex Jones' channel says that they're going to have a big protest for Tommy Robinson tomorrow. That is absolutely true. Let's see. There was a couple more. A guy named Yanni Bree has the Sadiq balloon. It was $50,000. He's on Twitter.
Thank you, Christine.
Jay Scott says, I pray for Trump to save us. So what says, everybody worldwide hates Khan? Yes. St. Mark, the evangelist.
The petrodollar.
Yes.
Well said, Mike.
Since the Queen doesn't publicly voice her opinions, her facial expressions say it all.
Very true.
Thank you. I about laughed until I passed out. People abandoning Brexit and 70,000 protesters against Trump. There was a massive demo outside of the American Embassy tomorrow that is pro-Trump and welcoming him because the BBC and MSN won't cover, but they won't cover it though.
And Horatio showed up in the chat.
Horatio is here.
What are you doing up so late? It's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
Normally he's in bed.
He wants to get some feedback.
You know what he wants for me to replay his video so that everybody can see it. That's
sure
what
he does. Hello to Alabama. But this is a big evening.
That video. Oh, okay. Speaking of which, while we are so for those of you that are not
the Brits
aware,
should just admit they have no friendships other than the U.S. and stop trying to undermine the people.
We lost our Facebook Live footage 18 minutes in to this broadcast, so we're not streaming on Facebook Live. However, every once in a while, we beat the algorithm, and when we streamed with Horatio the other day, we beat the algorithm, and I think like 2,500 people saw the post. It had over I think 1,200 views, something like that, and so we beat the algorithm on Facebook one time with Horatio. It could be just because we had a Yorkshireman on, and Facebook was just too afraid to not let his voice come out. I don't know.
Somebody says, Amber says, I hope when she dies they don't change the traditions of not being political. Meghan Merkel will be a huge issue. She is an outspoken American who is pro-abortion and pro-Obama and things like that. Can you imagine any of them refusing to be there because they didn't like Trump? It would never happen. So, let's see. Anyways, I actually like to scroll through some of your... comments. Maia says, here's yesterday's interview with Horatio. Thank you, Maia.
Thank you, Maia.
All right.
It seems like a lot longer than yesterday because it was first thing in the morning. It was my one day to sleep in. But I'm not complaining because we got Horatio on, and that's all that matters.
Trump should give Khan a pet pig.
Okay, no. So now we're going to go back to, this is what I wanted to
put. And perhaps the UK has left the EU. I don't know what they're going to do, but whatever you do is okay with me. That's your decision. Whatever you're going to do is okay with us. Just make sure we can trade together. That's all that matters.
Mr. President, you seem rather to have changed your tune from what you said earlier this week when you said that on the current Brexit plan, that would probably kill the possibility of a trade deal with the UK. Our countries are meant to have a special relationship, yet you publicly criticised the Prime Minister's policy and her personally for not listening to you this week. Is that really the behaviour of a friend?
Because I didn't criticise the Prime Minister. I have a lot of respect for the Prime Minister. And unfortunately, there was a story that was done, which was, generally fine, but it didn't put in what I said about the Prime Minister. And I said tremendous things. And fortunately, we tend to record stories now, so we have it for your enjoyment if you'd like it. But we record when we deal with reporters.
I love that.
It's called fake news. We solve a lot of problems with the good old recording instrument. They asked about Boris Johnson. I said, yeah. How would he be as a prime minister? I said, he'll be a great prime minister. He's been very nice to me. He's been saying very good things about me as president. I think
Look at
he
Theresa
thinks
May's
I'm
face.
doing a great job. I said to that paper, The Sun, and they seem like two very nice people, but I said that Theresa May is one of them's nice, but I said, she said,
sitting here.
oh, good. Where is that person? Where? Did I say nice things about Theresa May, please? Oh, good? Okay, if you reported them, that's good. Okay, where? On the internet? I said very good things. Thank you very much for saying that. No, I said very good things about her. I didn't think they put it in, but that's all right. They didn't put it in the headline. I wish they put that in the headline. That's one of those things. And she's a total professional, because when I saw her this morning, I said, I want to apologize because I said such good things about you. She said, don't worry, it's only the press. I thought that was very professional. I might add, well, that's called being, oh, don't worry. They've been doing it to me and I do it to them.
All right, so
Once the
that was
Brexit
from
process
the
is
BBC.
concluded.
And so I wanted to play that because I thought that it was fitting. Now, I think, wait, yeah, this one.
Those private talks will now be getting underway in side check, as of course
No,
they're
that's
not.
not the one that I wanted. Nope, did that. Nope, did that. All right, no, okay. So you have the press conference, not that one, but the other one, I think, between Trump and Theresa May, I think.
I do. You're never going to get over that one.
Okay, so hang on, wait. So I want to also, though, take you to my play-by-play from Horatio this morning. I had taken Uncle Jack to Pilates, right? And so he was watching their interview and he kind of gave me a play-by-play. So let me see. All right. He says, May and Trump news conference going live. I said, we just got to Pilates. He said, May just said that a U.S.-UK free trade deal will go ahead. So he must have kicked her arse. He literally spelled arse. She said, which sometimes means hearing things you don't want to hear, which I think is really amazing. And Horatio says he's no good at reading speeches, though, LOL. And he says, now they've got him onto immigration. Literally, he's sending me these play-by-plays. And then he says, ha, ha, ha. He's fantastic. Quote, if they think I'm doing a great job, which I am, by the way. And then he says, oof, he's just landed her in it. I apologize for the Sun news story. She said, don't worry about it. It's only the press. So I absolutely love that I was getting a play-by-play from Horatio, who was watching it live. But can we just talk about how Trump is? The things that he says, the things that fly out of his mouth. The press conference that he did over the NATO deal on Wednesday when he landed, I died. I was laughing through the entire thing. I can't believe that we have a president that says this stuff. All right, now go ahead.
So we're going to play a couple clips here.
Stories now, so we have it for your enjoyment if you'd like it. But
Well, we watched that part. Sorry.
we'll have any, gee, I did it, you got me. There won't be a Perry Mason here, I don't think, but you never know what happens, right? But I will absolutely, firmly ask the question. And hopefully we'll have a very good relationship with Russia. I think having, and the Prime Minister would agree, if we have a good relationship with Russia and with China and with other countries, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. So hopefully that will happen, Jonathan. Okay?
The specific one, which was about the troops. What's the benefit to America? The benefit to America?
Yeah, the troops where, though? Where? Well, look, there is a benefit. There's a psychological benefit and there's a military benefit. There's also a benefit not to do it. I mean, I was prepared to do things that would have been somewhat harsh yesterday. A lot of people were surprised that NATO all came together at the end. But, and it wasn't a threat. I mean, it was just an unfair situation. The United States was paying, anywhere from 70 to 90, and I choose 90, depending on the way you want to calculate. We were paying 90% of the cost of NATO, and NATO is really there for Europe, much more so than us. It helps Europe, no matter what our military people or your military people say, helps Europe more than it helps us. That being said, it is a great unifier. We have 29 countries, and there was a lot of love in that room. So I think, and we have a lot more than, Jonathan, when you say 10,000 troops, we have a lot more than 10,000 troops.
Tens of thousands.
How much?
Tens of thousands.
Oh, 10 that? But I'll say it, and I'll say it loud. And I think they better watch themselves because you are changing culture. You are changing a lot of things. Very tough, probably a lot more recently than that. Nobody even thought about. I just think it's changing the culture. Left.
Francis Elliott, The Times. Prime Minister, I wonder whether you agree with the President of the United States that immigration has damaged the cultural fabric of Europe. And President, perhaps you could elaborate on that remark. What do you mean by that?
You want
to go first?
I think it's been very bad for Europe. I think Europe is a place I know very well, and I think that what has happened is very tough. It's a very tough situation. I mean, you see the same terror attacks that I do. We see them a lot. We just left some incredible young men and women at Sandhurst, and they were showing us cells, and they were showing us things that, frankly, 20 years ago, nobody even thought about, probably a lot more recently than that, nobody even thought about. I just think it's changing the culture. I think it's a very negative thing for Europe. I think it's very negative. I think having Germany, and I have a great relationship with Angela Merkel, great relationship of Germany, but I think that's very much hurt Germany. I think it's very much hurt other parts of Europe. And I know it's politically not necessarily correct to say that, but I'll say it, and I'll say it loud. And I think they better watch themselves because you are changing culture. You are changing a lot of things. You're changing security. Look at what's happening. I mean, you take a look. Look at what's happening to different countries that never had difficulty, never had problems. It's a very sad situation. It's very unfortunate. But I do not think it's good for Europe, and I don't think it's good for our country. We're, as you know, far superior to anything that's happened before, but we have very bad immigration laws, and we're doing incredibly well considering the fact that we virtually don't have immigration laws. We have laws that are so bad, I don't even call them laws. I call them, it's just like you just walk across the border. You walk across the border, you would put one foot on the land, and now you're tied up in a lawsuit for 5 years. It's the craziest thing anyone's ever seen. So I would just make that recommendation to Europe. I've made it very loud and clear. I made it yesterday, 29 countries total, and that's the way I feel.
The UK has a proud history of, well,
Germany did 3, as an example. So Germany, big country, powerful country, they did 3. The fake news doesn't want to talk about it. So it really is. We have been very strong on Russia. Now, with all that being said, if I had a relationship with Putin, I don't know him. I met him twice, maybe 3 times, 2.5 times. Most of you were there when we did. We met him at the G20. And if we could develop a relationship which is good for Russia, good for us, good for everybody, that would be great. If I had a relationship with China, we're in a big trade situation with China, as an example, where we're behind every year for many years, $500 billion.
And the rest of the world.
I wish we could just sit here and watch the entire thing with you guys. But
didn't take that advice. I wondered what that advice was and whether you have any regrets about not taking it.
Look, Robert, lots of people give me advice about how to negotiate with the European Union. My job is actually getting out there and doing it, and that's it.
It's a very special country, and as I said, I have a relationship because my mother was born in Scotland, so very important. As far as the advice, I did give her a suggestion. I wouldn't say advice. And I think she found it maybe too brutal. And that's okay, because I could see that. But I don't know if you remember what I said. But I did give her a certain amount of, I gave her a suggestion, not advice. I wouldn't want to give her advice. I'd give her a suggestion. I could fully understand why she thought it was a little bit tough. And maybe someday she'll do that. If they don't make the right deal, she might very well do what I suggested that she might want to do. But it is not an easy thing. Look at the United States, how the European Union has taken advantage systematically of the United States on trade. It's a disgrace. So it's not an easy negotiation.
Pause it right there. Britt Baza had sent me, he sends us so much stuff. But there was one thing that I wanted to read that I thought was interesting. I remember this is just an opinion. However, we like to bring you guys hope here. And this was a hopeful opinion. And he says, from Cheka's speech and the newspaper interview, I think that Team A is maybe thinking about changing the white paper on Brexit to favor the so-called hard Brexit or Brexit so we can trade with the USA, so I can have my Chevy Corvette come to the UK soon with a bit of luck. I love that. Maybe she's thinking about rewriting the white paper because Trump came in and was, hard.
So you guys don't get any American cars? Like, what's the tax on those? Or there's like 200% or something.
Since you're a tax CNN, can I ask you a question?
John Roberts, go ahead, John. No. John Roberts, go ahead.
Play it again.
CNN's fake news. I don't take questions. I don't take questions from CNN. CNN is fake news. I don't take questions from CNN. John Roberts of Fox. Let's go to a real network. John, let's go.
Well, we're a real network too, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Some people have suggested that relations between the United States and Russia are at their lowest point since.
All right, what else you got? There's a lot more to this.
I don't even know what else. I don't have anything else for you queued up on my end.
Theresa May bewildered Team Trump with her Brexit approach. Now they're angry. It struck like a bombshell at the heart of the British establishment. President Trump's torpedoing of the UK government's Brexit position hours after the arrival on the American soil. So there was an article pointed out in The Sun we talked about, and it seemed quite brutal too about Brexit. But I really should have played, and I'm not sure exactly at what point it is in the speech, where Theresa May pretty much says she's going to deliver on everything Brexit.
Even trade, because
I think it might have been.
But let's keep in mind, and that is hopeful, but let's keep in mind that she's a good talker.
She's a liar.
And she is a big fat liar.
Let me say this about the wider transatlantic relationship. This includes...
I don't want to talk too much.
All right, so let's go here, and you can see this was the other day.
She said we're going to end free movement. We're going to have trade with everybody that we want. We're going to get the EU Commission or however they make laws. The EU makes laws out of the country. I mean, it sounds good, but...
Okay, so now note here something, guys. Every time I go to watch an RT YouTube video, YouTube feels it necessary to remind me that RT is funded in whole or in part by the Russian government. I don't care. Because do you know
Afghanistan, where this week I announced...
the BBC is. It's funded in part, or actually, I think, in whole, by the British government.
Does it do that on BBC?
And I'm okay with that. I don't care. I do not care.
Our PBS hour is funded by our government.
Who cares? The BBC is funded in part or in whole by the British government.
You know, if our government's funding the
goodness.
PBS, you'd
All
think
right.
that
a massive oil and gas deal with Russia, where you're supposed to be guarding against Russia, and Germany goes out and pays billions and billions of dollars a year to Russia. So we're protecting Germany, we're protecting France, we're protecting all of these countries.
Yeah, she's priced
and then numerous of the countries go out and make a pipeline deal with Russia, where they're paying billions of dollars into the coffers of Russia. So we're supposed to protect you against Russia, but they're paying billions of dollars to Russia, and I think that's very inappropriate. And the former chancellor of Germany is the head of the pipeline company that's supplying the gas. Ultimately, Germany will have almost 70% of their country controlled by Russia with natural gas. So you tell me, is that appropriate? I mean, I've been complaining about this from the time I got in. It should have never been allowed to have happened. But Germany is totally controlled by Russia because they were getting from 60 to 70% of their energy from Russia and a new pipeline. And you tell me if that's appropriate, because I think it's not. And I think it's a very bad thing for NATO, and I don't think it should have happened. And I think we have to talk to Germany about it. On top of that, Germany is just paying a little bit over 1%, whereas the United States, in actual numbers, is paying 4.2% of a much larger GDP. So I think that's inappropriate also. You know, we're protecting Germany, we're protecting France, we're protecting everybody, and yet we're paying a lot of money to protect. Now, this has been going on for decades. This has been brought up by other presidents, but other presidents never did anything about it because I don't think they understood it or they just didn't want to get involved. But I have to bring it up because I think it's very unfair to our country. It's very unfair to our taxpayers And I think that these countries have to step it up, not over a 10-year period, they have to step it up immediately.
Right
Germany
now.
is a rich country. They talk about they're going to increase it a tiny bit.
By 2030.
By 2030. Well, they could increase it immediately tomorrow and have no problem. I don't think it's fair to the United States. So.
All right, so I'm going to pause that there. Note something here. Everybody here getting orange juice. President Trump ain't getting orange juice. Why? That's your conspiracy theory for the day. Why ain't President Trump getting orange juice? Everybody loves orange juice. I don't trust a man that don't drink orange juice. I don't know. That's freaking me out. Should freak you out too, President Trump not drinking orange juice. All right, what else you got?
Okay. We're getting late. We're moving on. Moving on.
Some fishy business
Moving
right there.
on.
I could go for a glass of orange juice right now.
Moving on.
Everybody wants orange juice. When I was a kid, my grandma had orange juice glasses. Did you guys have orange juice glasses?
Little tiny glasses.
They were this big. That's how much orange juice you get.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have orange juice, please? And I get this little glass.
What I like now is making kombucha. So we make the tea, and it's fizzy and has a lot of flavor.
And you add a little bit of orange juice, and it all tastes like orange juice.
Random, I want to put out there, special counsel is pushing for info on Roger Stones and WikiLeaks and Guccifer too.
Sicilian Gal says it probably has vodka in it and Trump doesn't drink. Well, that's fine. He could have just said, can I get my orange juice dry? Or whatever it is called. What is it when you don't have something?
You mean,
is that right?
Yeah, dry.
That's right.
You got it. You got it down. Let me I have to bring up my my other windows here. There's so much to cover, guys. So I'm sorry if I didn't get everything like up exactly where I wanted it. Here we go. Trump rips NBC hack at the UK presser. Let's see.
Thank you very much.
Virgin, whatever.
Spent the week taking on NATO allies, criticizing Prime Minister May on her own soil. And I wonder if, are you giving Russian President Vladimir Putin the upper hand heading into your talks, given that you are challenging these alliances that he seeks to break up and destroy?
See, that's such dishonest reporting because, of course, it happens to be NBC, which is possibly worse than CNN. Possibly. Let me explain something. We have left NATO with more money, with more unity, with more spirit.
That's all. That's just hilarious to me. We did that. We did that. We did that. We did that. Now, here, this is very crazy. So, Portland has been having a lot of ICE protests. And Portland anti-ICE activists were caught on camera berating a black ICE agent and repeatedly referring to him as an effing N-word.
No.
Yes.
You're fucking nigger to the white man.
You're a white man's blank blank. You're the blank blank.
We love you, Clementine! We love you, Clementine! I love you, Tony! I love you, Tony!
There's been some fantastic pepper spray videos of these crazies.
You fucking cops are class traitor!
Class traitor. Class traitor. You are below the elite. So you work here for ICE. Class traitor.
Jim West wants to know, can't they arrest him for saying that? I don't think that you can.
No.
I'm pretty sure you can't.
Nope, it's in every rap song about 100 times.
Well, no, I mean calling a police officer that. You can call police officers any name in the book. I think.
It's America.
This is America. What you guys need to understand is every single time these Antifa whatever protesters get involved, it's always violence and it's always hitting below the belt every single time. They have no, what is it, the Geneva Convention, right? There's no rules that it's MMA. It's all like no holds barred, just taking the gloves off, going in, gouging eyes, pulling hair, kicking shins. This is what they do. You do not see this on the right. I'm sorry. I know I hate to do the right-left paradigm thing, but I can't help it. You just don't see it.
All right, we're going to end with this again. If you didn't watch our whole video, go back and see Strzok. If you want to hear him lying through his teeth, seeing Satan come right out of him, he's demon-possessed. And let me show you.
I can't help but wonder, when I see you looking there with a little smirk, how many times did you look so innocent into your wife's eye and lie to her about Lisa? Mr. Chairman, it's
I'm really hoping this is not copyrighted. It can't be copyrighted.
He wants it out.
Of course he does. Thank you, whoever. I just... I don't even know how you pronounce that.
Carpe Dunkum.
Okay. Dunctum. And then here comes, oh, you missed Trump's faces.
Carpe
All right,
Dunctum on Twitter. Just so
CRPEDOKTUM,
yes.
I think. So, do you have anything else you want to share? Is this the end of our show?
That's it.
All right. That is the end. There ain't no more until you come and watch our show once more on Sunday when we go live for our European and UK news at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so I do have a couple of orders of business to take care of right now. Kelly and Chris Holman, are going to be going live after our show at 9 p.m., I think, Eastern Standard Time. So I want you guys to check that out and share it. Dale Jones, I think I caught that today is your birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. I caught that earlier in the show. Maia's birthday. Maia be coming up here soon on Monday. So happy early birthday to Maia. Happy birthday to you, Dale. And thank you guys for being here. Horatio's video. Maia dropped it in the chat. I want you guys to watch that and share it. And also leave comments. I want you guys to go and leave like 100 comments that say, Horatio, please come back on the show. We love having you on the show. You're so great on the show. You're so wise. Please come back on the show. It's like pulling teeth to get the dude on the show. And I know you guys love him as much as we do. So what else?
I wanted to sing this song.
What song?
What Wondrous Love Is This. We'll just sing a cappella. Why? I'll sing it. I've been singing all week.
Okay.
What? I see what I'm going to start in the wrong key. Wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this that caused the Lord of bliss to bear the dreadful curse for my soul, to bear the dreadful curse for my soul. When I was sinking down, sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down beneath God's righteous crown, Christ laid aside his crown for my soul, for my soul. Christ laid aside his crown for my soul. To God and to the Lamb I will sing, I will sing. To God and to the Lamb I will sing. To God and to the Lamb who is the great I am. While millions join the theme, I will sing, I will sing. While millions join the theme, I will sing. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul. bear the dreadful curse for my soul, to bear the dreadful curse for my soul.
All right, so Jack Russell tells us that his birthday was 2 days ago.
Happy birthday,
Happy belated birthday to you, Jack. He's one of our UK viewers. Jim West says, do a Horatio cook-off again. That was really fun. We did that for the Super Bowl.
I hate that song. No truth in it at all. Okay, sorry, Joe.
I think he might be talking of another song.
Oh, okay.
Because that song...
It's pretty powerful.
Oh, that's Just Don't Sing American Idiot by Green Day. Why would we? We would never.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
good tip.
That's
what
good
he was
to have a
referring
little
to.
bit of... Oh,
all right, you guys. Yeah.
No, I don't think he was meaning to be rude.
No,
okay.
he did not. He wasn't being mean. No, that was Leah when you don't follow the chats along. Yeah, there you go.
With it.
I think that rounds us off. Oh, I did do the it is a doing business as. And so I did register Resistance Chicks as an official name. So there you go. So I will be able to...
T-shirts coming soon.
T-shirts coming
Just
soon.
kidding.
Which just means we just probably have to pay taxes in a different way. So who is going live at 9? Chris Holman. Here, let me bring up Chris's channel so you guys can see where you're going. And Maia and Kelly can put it in the chat for me. All right.
City is
over here.
Dying for attention over here. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes,
thank you for allowing us to just bring this information to you and break it down for you. We love you.
We do. This is Chris Holman's channel. This is where you guys are going to be at 9 o'clock tonight. And you're going to be sharing those videos. I have to tell you guys, the content that Chris and Kelly put out,
awesome.
Kelly does amazing research, and they cover things that we don't cover. They cover things that we do cover, but they cover things that we don't cover because I personally can't do it. With the sex trafficking and things like that, it's difficult for me to cover, and they go in depth. Their last stream that they did was fantastic. It should have way more views. You guys should be watching it and sharing it. So I want you guys to be there tonight. So that takes care of everything.
I was going to tell you about Alex Jones being censored.
Oh, yeah.
And why we're censored too and things like that. CNN was at a big tech conference with Facebook. Facebook was, I guess, putting it on or something. And this was from Gateway Pundit. It's on InfoWars. And they were asked, Facebook was asked by CNN why InfoWars the page wasn't shut down. Now, they have already got the advertisers off of YouTube. They put everybody in the basement. You remember our channel, 2017, started January 2017. We were getting 100 subscribers a day sometimes. And then it was only for like 5 or 6 months. And then bam, it shut us off.
After the Jordan Peterson video, everything went downhill. We were getting, I don't know if you guys remember, we would have 200 people at a live stream.
Oh, yeah.
And our videos were getting 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 views.
But we're not the only ones.
On a regular basis, consistently.
If you know Dave Rubin from the Rubin Report, he made a video and he put it out on his YouTube. He has 800,000 subscribers. It only had 40,000 views. But on Twitter, he has 400,000 subscribers and it had 250,000 views. He did the Prager University, and that one went viral. There are certain ways to beat the algorithm,
right?
And Prager University works really hard at it. Alex Jones, what they said about Alex Jones and people like us and all the truther people is that they're going to let you put your video out, but they're not going to let it trend. It's going to be very hard to share. They're not going to put it in people's feeds, things like that. Whereas a lot of our posts, when we first started our page, I told you this before, the number of people who saw our post was higher than the people we had that liked our page. And we were getting lots of... my flower's falling out.
It's all right. Don't touch it, though, because those are really dangerous on the pollen.
On the pollen.
You'll stain your clothes.
Anyways, keep up the good fight.
Yeah.
Because if you guys were with us for 4th of July, John Quincy Adams, my favorite, I believe... definitely my favorite founding father. His father was the true founding father, but he was with the group. But anyways,
He was an ambassador at like 14.
He was gagged, and slavery was gagged, so the Pickney Law, and you were just reading that today, Pickney Law. Pickney put it forward that you couldn't debate slavery on the House floor. You couldn't really talk about it. And he would do all these crazy things to go around the law. That he was totally censored. The left doesn't change. The left is the party of slavery. The left is the party of abortion. The left is the party of censorship. They always will be. I don't know. I'm not saying that the right is better, but the Republicans have always been the party of free speech.
Right.
Doesn't mean they've always been good. There were lots of pro-slavery people, Republicans, okay? But my point is that the Democratic Party was the slavery party, and they were the party that put the censorship on. A lot of people in the Republican Party didn't stand with him. They are usually the wet noodles, the people who don't stand up for what is right. They think that they deceive people that they're doing what is right.
The way that he finally won in the end was by talking about how it literally says Congress shall make no law that stops people from coming with their redresses of grievances.
Right.
And so he was constantly putting forth a petition.
An anti-slavery petition.
And so they gave him a petition that was fake, that said that there were these slaves
that wanted to keep slavery.
And he noticed it, and he was going to bring it forward, and everybody goes crazy. Oh, here he goes again, going to talk about slavery again. And so it turns into such a ruckus, and he's got this big kind of grin on his face that they have to shut down for the day. Goes back the next day, and he finally says, he brings it up again. Oh, you can't talk about it. And he said, listen, it wasn't actually a petition. It was a paper. And if you had let me read the daggone paper, you would have found that I was given this yesterday by all y'all people that be hating on me. And it's fake. It's about slavery, slaves that say that they want to keep slavery. It's absurd. And everybody, again, just like Parliament, goes, and then he says, Congress shall make no law. And they voted on it, and it was like 120 to 21. That's not the exact number, but it was somewhere around there in his favor. And he didn't see slavery wiped off the face of the earth. He didn't see slavery wiped out of America, but he did see that gag rule rescinded. And that is what allowed the truth of slavery to be brought back to the House.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to sign off here. Oh, one last thing. I am still in the limbo process with YouTube. If you guys notice, when you watch any one of our videos, it'll say Mass Faith 3 is going live right now at all times. It'll always tell you that. And I think that is one of the reasons why we aren't getting, the video just isn't getting to our viewers, because it's kind of like crying wolf and the notifications aren't getting sent out because of that. Because I think a lot of times people are watching our videos and they would see that pop up and go to watch us live, but they're clicking on it and they're being sent back to the Jordan Peterson video.
Right.
I was sent an email this morning from YouTube that said, congratulations on your very first live stream, Mass Faith 3. And I thought, well, we've been going live for over a year now. That's not our first live stream yesterday with Horatio. So I am hoping that somewhere in the computerisms that is YouTube, that somewhere someone is working on something, trying to reset something, and that's why that email was generated. But I did check, and if you go and watch any one of our videos, it's still going to tell you we're going live, and it's going to send you to Jordan Peterson, which, you know what, is actually fine. How many people are we sending to Jordan Peterson with that? I should go and look and see how many views that video has had just from people clicking on it and going, oh, I want to watch Mass Faith 3 live, and then they go and watch Jordan Peterson. I don't know. All right, you guys, we're going to sign off.
We love you. God loves you. God bless.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell. Maybe you'll get a notification.
Leave a P.O. Box 107,
Milford, Ohio 45150. All right, God bless, and we will see you back Sunday at 1. Bye, guys.
I was cold.